In this section we will be talking about writing, statistics, time management and being ethical.
General grammatical suggestions. If the writing is poor, the proposal and the research may be relevant and original, but the end result will be mediocre. When you write, it is very important to maintain the main idea so the readers can follow the sequences. Statement results in an argument and connect ideas. Idea plus idea plus idea. To do this, it is very important to use connectors. Then, after, but, thus, in the first place, finally, as above mentioned, etc.
The structure of a paragraph. The paragraph is the constitutive part of a text and is between punctuation periods. It has a formal structure, punctuation, connectors and complex sentences, and it has a conceptual structure, ideas, arguments and consequences. These structures must coincide within a paragraph and both must be presented in an optimal way. For it to be well written, it should be easy to read and to understand. Thus, when writing a text, a rule of thumb must be followed. Each paragraph describes a single idea. This way, each paragraph is considered as a whole, with a single idea and a given structure.
The structure of a paragraph. As Serafini states, a paragraph includes 3 elements. 1. Thesis. The main idea of the paragraph. 2. Information. Description of the idea that supports the thesis. 3. Guarantee. Highlights and confirms the importance of the information in regards to the thesis. A written paragraph must not exceed the length of a page, nor it should be as short as 2 or 3 lines, because unconnected ideas that are presented in this way does not allow to follow the argument.
List separation. The comma should not separate the subject and the predicate. The boy, with the green sweater, will present the exam today. The period should not separate complex sentences. Numbers. Numbers from 1 to 9 are written with words 1, 2, 3, etc. From 10 onwards they are written with numbers 10, 11, 12, etc. You should use the words thousand and million for greater figures, 3,000, 2,000,000, 567,245. In complex numbering, numbers should be preferred: 3 watches, 17 rings, 40 wristbands. List separation. Numbers are used for the days of the month, May 18th. Numbers are used for years, 2021. Words are used for decades, the 90s.
The structure of a paragraph. Numbers are used for figures with decimals, 24.85. Numbers are used for time, separating the hours and minutes with a colon, 8:50 p.m. Numbers are used for latitude and longitude, 37.2 degrees. Numbers are used for temperature, 15 degrees. Roman numerals are preferred for centuries, 21 century. The structure of a paragraph. It is convenient to clarify that in regards to writing numbers, you can find different criteria depending upon the institution or editorial. Each entity can adopt their own format according to their standards and conveniences. In each case, the most important is to maintain uniformity throughout your document.
Accentuation. It is highly recommended to check the academic spelling.
Statistics. Statistics is the science of measurement, and to explain this, it is convenient to understand what measuring means. If you talk about measuring something, you have to talk about quantifying, assigning numbers to objects that can be measured. In our daily life, for example, we usually are measuring something, objects, events, phenomena, processes, attitudes, etc. It has to do with the collection of data and its analysis, referring to a specific area of research in which they are used to make conclusions where uncertainty and variation are present.
Statistics. Some of its objectives are: make inferences about the population from the analysis of the information contained in a sampling data. Make evaluations that consider the uncertainty involved when making these inferences. Design the strategy and the size of the sample such that the observations made are the basis to get valid and accurate inferences.
Time management. The academic advisor should talk to the student, not to solve the problem for him, her. If he or she presents something of the following: lack of interest or insufficient motivation to have the job done, difficulties to deal with one or two journeys of work, family, job, research work, problems to read and write, lack of training to work several hours per day on the research work including stealing time from rest, insecurity, not knowing how to work independently, stress. Time management. If the student's problems are lack of time or disorganization, advise him, or what he or she should do is organize his, her workplace, each thing in its place. Make a Gantt chart and stick with it. Establish priorities. Avoid wasting time. Schedule the job.
Time management. Use a standard or an electronic agenda. While working, studying, avoid visits, social networks, electronic mail, telephone or cell phone, eating and drinking, listening to music, watching videos.
Being ethical. The student should act ethically while doing the research work. Students behave improperly when they do invention. It happens when instead of doing a survey, he or she answers the questionnaires. Forgery. It is the result of answering intentionally to get a specific result. Stealing goes beyond copying and pasting the work of others. It is to steal the ideas, assume the authorship or the results of works of others.
Being ethical. According to the previous slide, the academic advisor through his advice should promote the adoption of values according to honesty, trustworthy, integrity, responsibility.
Now it's your turn. Answer these questions. You are going to record yourself answering these questions. You are going to record the synthetic voice and your voice as if it were a conversation. You have 10 seconds to answer. Give complete answers. Give reasons. Use the 10 seconds to answer. Don't stop speaking. The file type you submit to your teacher must be MP3. If you need more than 10 seconds, stop this video and record your answer, then resume this video and continue with your recording.
You are going to practice several times answering these questions. When you think you are ready, record yourself with the speech-to-text microphone in WhatsApp in your cell phone. If it shows the words that you are saying, then your pronunciation is correct. If not, check your pronunciation. Find a voice synthesis application so that you copy and paste what you are trying to say and listen to how the words are pronounced. Then try again until you pronounce correctly. When you are able to pronounce correctly, then record the questions and your answers using your cell phone and submit it to your teacher.
1. Escucha las preguntas primero. 2. Escribe tus respuestas. 3. Practica leyendo tus respuestas con tu celular en el modo de voz a texto para que verifiques que se escriben correctamente las palabras que dices. También puedes usar otro programa de reconocimiento de voz o de dictado. 4. Cuando pronuncies bien, graba la conversación. Si pronuncias mal, no envíes tu archivo hasta que lo hagas correctamente.
After working many hours on your research proposal, how can the end result be mediocre? According to Serafini, what is the structure of a paragraph? According to the Royal Spanish Academy, do spelling ever change? How can you avoid delays in your research work? What should be avoided when you work on research? What does it mean to be ethical when doing research work? This is the end of the session. See you in our next Hands on the Writing a Research Proposal Flipped Classroom session.